Welcome to the channel. My name is Morgan. Today I'm going to share with you guys some negative things that I used to do within our homeschool that really affected our homeschool journey until I realized it and turned them around. There are so many new homeschoolers out there, people who are considering homeschooling, and even a seasoned homeschoolers. We have to sit back and look at our years of homeschooling and really talk about those negative aspects of it and how we turned them into something positive within our homes, because we will all have those. I feel like we need to hold on to those things in our heads, not necessarily in action for sure, but definitely within our heads, because we will forget those. I feel like it's really easy to revert back to some of those things. So if we keep them in our minds to say, do you remember when and what it was like when, then that will keep us away from those and steer us clear of those things. Hopefully me sharing my journey about how we started in homeschool and just revelations that I've had over the years will help you on your journey for homeschooling, because to me, that is what community is all about. So let's hop into it, guys. The first thing that I used to do that really affected my homeschool was doubting myself. Doubting myself and my abilities. I do think that it is natural to have some apprehension when you start the homeschool journey. When you are looking at your children and you realize, like, this is me. I am not sending them off to anyone else. I am responsible for their learning. And we are. If you are homeschooling, you are responsible for your child's learning until they get to an age, obviously, where they can take responsibility for those things. But we still have to provide them with guidance and assistance along this journey. So we can't just be like, hands off, it's all you. And with that can be very scary. However, a lot of times what I did was I took that all the way into a whole different area of just complete doubt. You cannot do this. You are not trained to do this. What were you thinking when you made this decision? Oh my God, I picked the wrong thing. My child is upset with me today. They don't want to school, but they have to. What do I do? So many different things go on in our minds because of the journeys, the ups and downs. And sometimes it's really easy for us to focus on the downs and not look at all the progression that we have made. So for me, it was just doubting my ability, which really affected my homeschool. I didn't show up confident. Therefore, my girls didn't know how to show up within our homeschool journey. It affected everyone. My husband's like, how can I help you? And I'm like, I don't know. That was me. And it really affected our homeschool. Until one day I was talking with my husband and sharing with him how someone had told me, like, you do an amazing job. Your girls are, just really great. And they talk about how much they love homeschooling and blah, blah, blah. And it was almost like I knew that already, but I wasn't focusing on that. And I told my husband, who better to teach our girls than the ones who love them the most? And that doesn't just apply for the Life of Tillman's household. That is your household too. Who better to teach your children than the one who loves them the most? Next to God. But who better to do so? They were given to us, and that was not an accident. We have to remember that in all that we do, and that will make us even better. We want to be the best parents that we can be for our children, the best homeschooling mothers and fathers that we can be for our children. That is motivation enough, and enough to say, out with the doubt. You are capable. You have been equipped with everything that you need. Stand on that and move forward and teach your children. Grow them up, educate them, nurture them, all of the things. We are capable of doing it. And so doubting myself was a bad thing, and I do not do that anymore. And now, with not doing that anymore, I feel freer. I'm more confident in what we're doing, and I'm confident in my ability to find what it is that my girls need. That was a big thing as well. Like, how do I know what they need? I'm confident in my ability to find it. I know that I may not have all of the answers. I'm not expected to have all of the answers, but I do know how to reach out. I know how to use my resources, and I will find what I need for my girls for them to get the absolute best education possible. The next thing that I used to do within our homeschool that was not great was trying to do all the things all the time. We see so much overload, sensory overload is where we are. We can research until we're blue in the face, watch all of these different videos, and we get envious, number one, or we also feel obligated, number two, to do all of the things that other people are doing. That is that part of, am I giving my children enough? But when we sit with our children And with our family and our lifestyle, we realize that we're not supposed to do everything that Sally's household is doing. We're not supposed to cover every single subject that Kim and her family are doing. We are supposed to work within what our household has the ability to do. And that can be lost when we consume so much information. That was me consuming so much information that I felt like, oh, we need to do this. We need to do this. I kind of had like a squirrel brain. When I finally sat back and said, you don't have to do all of those things. We all have seasons. We are in a season right now where we're doing a little bit less, but we've been in some seasons where we've done a ton more, and it worked for us to be able to do that as well. It all just depends on you and your household. So don't try to do everything all at once. Make a list of things that you want to do and keep it for years to come, because you can always reference that list. Who says that what's on that list has to be done right now at this moment? Everything does not have to be done all at the same time. Let me know down in the comments, what is one thing that you did in your homeschool that really changed it? Like it was a negative thing, you flipped it because you needed to, and it made your homeschool better. Share that with the community so we can all read it and grow and learn from each other. The next thing that I did wrong or that was a negative within our early homeschool years was I did not have a really substantial support system. I had my husband and I had my mother. None of us knew how to homeschool, and we needed a support system. That was truly lacking in our journey. And not just that, not having the support system and doubting myself made me not even reach out to build the support system in the beginning. So those two things like fed off of each other, not having it and doubting myself. And it was like, nope, I'm just going to stay over here because they're going to talk about what we are doing or are not doing. And I really don't know what I'm doing. And I'm going to get with somebody who knows all the things and I'm going to be intimidated. All of that, all of those different things came into my mind in the process. And so I just stayed in my corner. I stayed in my corner to myself, and that was a problem. It was a problem. Hence, here we are. I am on YouTube and I'm sharing our journey, and I have grown to know some really amazing people here within this community. I'm going to talk about community like all the time because I think that it is very, very important. Not just in the homeschool community, but just community in general. We were not supposed to be by ourselves. We're not supposed to live this life by ourselves, guys. We need a support system. So if you don't have one, reach out to me. We can grow this support system together. I am here for you, and hopefully you will be here for me, but support systems are super, super important. And speaking of community, be sure to stick around because I have some things in the works with some friends of mine that is all about community, and you are not going to want to miss that. So hit that subscribe button because when it comes out, it's going to be big and you want to be a part of it. Back on support system, another reason why I didn't reach out is because there were a lot of people that made comments about us taking a homeschool journey. They didn't understand it. They thought it was strange. And so I didn't want to speak on what we were doing every day because I didn't want people with their eyes all on our lives trying to correct us and all of the things. I kind of just went into a hole with it, and I'm like, this is what we're doing. We're going to do this over here in our own space, and we're not going to communicate almost like with the outside world about what we're doing because I didn't want the judgment. But I am out here loud and proud, and I love what we do. And I wish that I could take away, and that was a short stint within our homeschool journey, but I just wish that I never felt that way at all. That I had never doubted myself, that I never felt like I couldn't reach out and couldn't have a community, because it definitely made for some really hard days. But we're past it. Things are going good. I am settling into this homeschool journey very nicely. So are my girls. And we're just rolling. So remember community. Another thing that I did at the beginning of our homeschool journey that I didn't even know was a problem until a little bit later was not addressing my girls' learning styles and their learning needs. This was not something that was addressed for me when I was growing up as a child. You were in a classroom, the teacher presented you the information, you accepted it, learned it the way that they told you to, and that was it. There were no options to focus on learning styles and learning needs. And so I did not even know that that was a thing. But as I built the community, as I got people around me that were also homeschooling, that was a topic that came up. And I'm like, learning styles? What? I needed that. I needed to hear that, because once I started focusing on my daughter's individual learning styles, our homeschool really turned around. My girls were having fun. I was having more fun. We had an opportunity to really get one-on-one time with each other because I was focused on what they were needing. I was able to incorporate both of their, because at the time we just had the 2 girls homeschooling, incorporate both of their learning styles and what we were doing every day. It just really turned it into a more positive environment. And my girls felt like they could continue and work hard learning because they were doing it in the way that best suited them. So if you have not looked at your children's learning styles, make that a priority on your list as you go through your homeschooling journey, and it will change as they go through. So focus on that, and that really helps to grow your homeschool into something that you will love. And be sure to subscribe. As I said before, curriculum picks will be coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. You don't want to miss that. And those are really geared to my girls' learning styles. All right, another thing that I used to do at the beginning of our homeschool journey that was not a great thing was focusing on the curriculum over the connection and relationship with my girls. I don't know why I did it. I think I just was in that public school mode because that's what I was accustomed to. And it was, here's your curriculum, let's get started. I was not connecting with my girls the way that I needed to. I was not focused on building a relationship. I was focused on their learning needs and making sure that they were learning everything that they needed to. The curriculum should not run your homeschool. You run the curriculum. You pick what you want curriculum-wise based on your children's needs, and you flow with it as much as you want to, period. You don't have to stick to it, everything to the T. Let your children guide you as well. I have one daughter who wants to go to the curriculum exactly how it is printed. And then I have another one who's like completely out of the box when it comes to that. I'm fine with it. At the end, we're getting the job done. You're comprehending what you're doing. But I'm not fighting with them. We're not having arguments about who's supposed to do what and when. But I am able to connect with my girls on a level where they are. They feel comfortable. I feel comfortable. We can have a very relaxed homeschool journey and day to where everyone is understanding of what it is that they need to do, how to do it, and how we can communicate with each other. I put the curriculum, the schedules, the expectations, the complete it all, do it all before I put the connection in a relationship with my girls. And I will never do that again.